And welcome everybody to Michaelantonio Live. And today I want to talk to you about, that's right, ghosts. Are they real? Are they fake? Or are they something that we can't even understand yet? Well, I can tell you in my own experience, I've studied this since my youth, that there is definitely something going on. We know that. And I want to kind of bring a perspective that comes from my upbringing, my study, and that is the Bible. Now, if you don't agree with the Bible, look, that's fine. I can't make you believe it. But I'm telling you things from my perspective, and I think it makes a lot of sense, just from what I know about it. So, let's get into that. Let's find out about what we know from reading the Bible about what ghosts are. Now, before I go there, some people will say that ghosts are departed spirits of humans, people who have died and gone on to wander around and scare us, even if they didn't mean to scare us. Other people say it's just a figment of our imagination, because after all, we are human beings. We have vivid imaginations. And if we constantly feed our mind with this kind of stuff, you're going to see things that are not necessarily there. Other people say it's other kind of strange phenomena. Could it be aliens? Could it be something that I'll talk about later? Could it be demons? Something that's not human at all and never was human. So we can get into that, but I'm going to start by telling a story from the Bible that gives us a little explanation of what a spirit can be. Now, a lot of people say, well, spirits can't come back. The Bible doesn't say that a spirit can ever come back from the dead. Once it leaves, it doesn't come back. That's not really 100% true, but there are qualifications on when a spirit can come back. It's not something that happens regularly, and nowhere does it say that a spirit can just merely die and wander around looking for, heaven or hell or whatever it may be. Okay, there's nothing that says that. So the first thing is I want to tell a story from the Old Testament in Samuel, 1 Samuel 28, 3 through 19. Now, just to paraphrase, I'll read some of the verses, but I will tell the story of what's going on here. What had happened was the prophet Samuel, the prophet of Israel, Samuel had just died, and the king of Israel at the time was Saul, and he was at odds with David because David was about to be king. And Saul knew it. Saul knew that God had anointed David to take over as king. And he wasn't too happy about that. And he had tried to kill David. He tried to remove him so that that wouldn't happen. Well, of course, that didn't work out too well. But not only did he have a problem with that, but he also had a problem with the Philistines, the arch enemy of Israel, coming in, and they were trying to take over Israel. Okay, so he was afraid at this point because they were pretty, the Philistine army was pretty formidable, and he didn't know what to do. And he was trying to get God's attention and ask him, he was praying and asking of God. And God wasn't giving him any information, whether it's through dreams or prophets or anything. He wasn't getting the information. But one thing he did do was he sent all the, what they call the mediums and the necromancers. We have mediums today that people go to get information. Now, I just want to say that if you do that at your own peril. God doesn't want us doing that. That's a very dangerous thing to do, and we'll find out soon why that is so dangerous. So what he did was he was asking of God. He got to the point where he was so afraid because God wasn't answering him. Well, God wasn't answering him because God knew the heart of Saul, and Saul's heart was pretty dark. Okay, he had a lot of problems. So what does Saul do? I'll start at verse 7. Then Saul said to his servants, "Seek out for me a woman who is a medium, that I may go to her and inquire of her." And his servants said to him, "Behold, there is a medium at Endor." Now I want you to think of this. Endor kind of reminds me of something from Star Wars. You know what I mean? So I'm wondering if maybe Star Wars didn't borrow this stuff from, the Bible. Isn't that cool? Endor, Okay, so Saul disguised himself and put on other garments and went, he and 2 men with him. And they came to a woman by night. And he said, Divine for me a spirit, and bring up for me whomever I shall name to you. The woman said to him, Surely you know what Saul has done, how he has cut off the mediums and the necromancers from the land. Why then are you laying a trap for my life to bring about my death? But Saul swore to her by the Lord, As the Lord lives, no punishment shall come upon you for this thing. Then the woman said, Whom shall I bring up for you? He said, Bring up Samuel for me. When the woman saw Samuel, she cried with a loud voice, and the woman said to Saul, Why have you deceived me? You are Saul. The king said to her, Don't be afraid. What do you see? And the woman said to Saul, I see a God coming up out of the earth. He said to her, What is his appearance? And she said, An old man is coming up, and he is wrapped in a robe. And Saul knew that it was Samuel, and he bowed with his face to the ground and paid homage. Then Samuel said to Saul, Why have you disturbed me by bringing me up? Saul answered, I am in great distress, for the Philistines are warring against me, and God has turned away from me and answers me no more, either by prophets or by dreams. Therefore I have summoned you to tell me what I shall do. And Samuel said, Why then do you ask me, since the Lord has turned from you and become your enemy? The Lord has done to you as he spoke by me, for the Lord has torn the kingdom out of your hand and given it to your neighbor David. Because you did not obey the voice of the Lord, and did not carry out his fierce wrath against Amalek, therefore the Lord has done this thing to you this day. Moreover, the Lord will give Israel also with you into the hand of the Philistines, and tomorrow you and your sons shall be with me. The Lord will give the army of Israel also into the hand of the Philistines. So you see, guys, literally, Saul, he disobeyed God. He was supposed to do something to Amalek, if you remember. Okay? He was supposed to take fierce wrath against Amalek and all of his people. And of course, Saul refused. He didn't obey God. So God was punishing him, and so no wonder God wasn't answering. I mean, come on. So he brings up Samuel. Now, let me tell you something. First of all, he wasn't supposed to do that. And I can tell you that was probably another reason why God did what he said he was going to do. In the end, Saul ended up dying on the battlefield with his sons. And, of course, the Philistines took the armies of Israel. So you have to understand something, that this is something you shouldn't be messing with. I don't know why he did it. I honestly don't. It's not something that you should be messing with. You should get away. Just remove the ghost. Just like that. Anyway, just to let you know, this is what can happen when you deal with like necromancers and mediums and people who deal with the dead. It's not a good idea. You don't want to mess with that. God isn't fooling around. God is in charge of who sees what and what happens after this world. After you leave this planet, he's in charge, and you shouldn't be messing with that. Now, do you ask? Do you ask God to do certain things? Possibly, but remember, it's all up to God, and God is in control of that. So we know that it can happen, but it probably shouldn't. You shouldn't be messing with that. And there is one other thing I wanted to mention about spirit and death, that it is also possible that spirits or people can be raised from the dead. Now, we know this is true because it happened with Jesus. Jesus raised up Lazarus from the dead, if you remember. And also, other bodies were raised from the dead when Jesus was resurrected. After his crucifixion, Jesus rose from the dead, and Apparently the power was so intense in that region that it says in the Bible that many bodies of the saints who had died rose from the dead. I'll read the scripture right here. It's in Matthew 27:52 through 53. It says the tombs also were opened, and many bodies of the saints who had fallen asleep were raised. And coming out of the tombs after his resurrection, they went into the holy city and appeared to many. Which means it wasn't just hearsay. People saw this. People were seeing these saints coming from the dead and walking around in bodies. So not only do you see in the spirit realm spirits who had died, but now you're seeing actual people died and come back from the dead. So I can say to you that when these people, there are many people today that will tell you stories of what we call a near-death experience. I would personally call it like a death experience. They died and they came back. So to say it's near death, I don't think it is near death. I think that they died. These people left their bodies and then they came back to their bodies. So when you see these things, it's real. I know people personally who have died and gone on to another world and seen beautiful things. And in fact, I may actually, I want to bring somebody on and talk to them about that because it's very interesting. It isn't just the experience itself. You get all the beauty of it and all of the splendor and just the glory of it, but there's also things that you need to learn that have nothing to do with just that. And it's just an amazing thing. There's so much you can learn from it. But anyway, I wanted to move on from this. So we're talking about, of course, how these people, saints came back from the dead. But remember something. Notice how it said saints? The saints who had died came back? You notice how it didn't say anything about those who were not saints, those who did not follow after God. Those people don't come back. So where do they go? We'll get into that another time, and please stay tuned. I will get into that. But I want to talk about those spirits that we may see on the earth that are not necessarily human beings who died, but living beings who never lived as we did. They never were human bodies. They never did possess a human body. And those are demons. Those are former servants of God that God created to serve him, and they disobeyed him with, of course, Satan himself, Lucifer. These demons are very, very bad creatures, and we do not want to mess with them. So I just wanted to say that, and here's the scripture to back that up. It's in Ephesians 6:12. 6:12. And I just interestingly enough, I want you to get this. Notice it's Ephesians 6:12. Well, what is 12 divided by 2? 6. So it's 6, 6, and 6. Right? 6 and then 6 plus 6. You understand what I'm getting at here? Do you see that? Do you see that? Look at that right there. Right there. I know, it might not mean anything, but it might mean everything. Huh? What do you think about that? Okay, so what does it say? For we wrestle not against flesh and blood, but against principalities, against powers, against the rulers of the darkness of this world, against spiritual wickedness in high places. Yes, so every day you're dealing with this. I don't know if some of you ever experienced such a depression, such a vexation that you know it wasn't coming from a natural source. I certainly have. I believe God has sent me into certain places to not only be there temporarily, but to live there. I've lived in places where, you could tell demons were very, very prevalent and very powerful. And I've had experiences that tell me that. I've had experiences that show me, because these things were present, were ever present, and they knew things that there's no way for somebody in the flesh, the human body, to know unless there was a spirit involved that could see more than just what you see in one place. So it's amazing. So we know that we're wrestling not against flesh and blood. Every time we deal with some supernatural experience that's negative, you're dealing with a demon, guys. And I'm telling you, you better not mess with it. You better not even fool around. But let me show you a quick video here. I wanted to show you this because I think it kind of it indicates what we are dealing with. It indicates that not everything is good. And I'm not saying this is necessarily a bad thing or a bad spirit, but remember something. Most of the time when you're seeing some spirit, it's not some dearly departed loved one. Remember something, Saul had to use a medium, had to use some kind of a mystic to bring Samuel back in spirit so that he could talk to him. So, and that wasn't a good thing. So here, I'm going to show you this video, and I want you to tell me what you think about it. Here we go.
This disturbing video caught by their nanny cam of what appears to be a ghost walking by their baby's crib.
It was chilling. It was literally a chill down your spine.
Did you see that? Should I show you that again? I think I'm going to go back and freeze frame it because it was
like that what if
scary. All right, ready? I'm going to freeze frame this for you. Let me bring it back. And I'm going to show you where it is here. I mean, it's very frightening. Very frightening. In fact, let's just watch it again, the whole thing here. Okay?
Disturbing video caught by their nanny cam of what appears to be a ghost walking by their baby's crib.
It was chilling. It was literally a chill down your spine. Like that what if factor. Like, is this what I just saw? It's freaky.
Man, right there.
Is what it is.
The couple...
So, as you can see, I mean, that's just scary. But I can tell you that I don't believe that it's something pleasant. I don't think it is, because you have to remember something. I mean, unless, now, you know, I don't know if I should even say that, but I think I didn't talk about angels. I should say that there are angels that are spirits that are, in other words, they're kind of the good side. If you remember Dorothy and the Wizard of Oz, how you had the bad witches and the good witch, in that situation. Obviously, they're not witches, but we're talking about angels versus demons here. Yes, there are angels that watch over a child, so it's possible that it was an angel, but, I tend to think that when something's trying to that is frightening people like that, I didn't get a good feeling from that. But this is where I want to hear your opinions. Tell me what you think about that. You see a video like that, what does that tell you about what we're dealing with here? Is that in fact a demon or maybe an angel? I don't think it's a dearly departed spirit. I just don't. I don't think it's that. I don't think it's easy to bring some of those things out. Because remember something, you're talking about something that requires the permission of God. And when you mess with that, there's a reason why God allowed Saul to bring Samuel back. Because essentially Samuel was essentially saying to him, look, we already dealt with this, and I'm telling you one last time, you're doomed. You're going to be dead tomorrow. That's it. So it was kind of the final message. Look, stop bothering everybody about this. God's not going to answer you. I'm the messenger from God. I was the messenger from God to you when I was alive, and now I'm the messenger now that I'm dead. And I'm letting you know you're going to be joining me in death tomorrow. So leave me alone and just be ready for it. And that's what he was doing. So, there's a lot of other videos I could show you. That was just one. I just wanted to mention this because I think people tend to think that it's just so easy to see some dearly departed family member or friend or something. Remember something, when you see those things, and they even if they tell you, like you've got these new spirit boxes, I don't know how real they are. I don't know if that's really authentic, but even if it is authentic, just because they say they're a dearly departed spirit or they're the spirit of Michael Jackson or somebody who recently died, you know what, it could be, again, a demon, an evil spirit, who is trying to trick you. He's trying to make you think that that's who that is. Because remember, demons don't care about you. They only want to hurt you. And actually, they want to kill you. They want to destroy you. That's what they really want. But if you're talking about an angel, now an angel, if you talk to an angel, if there's ever a time when you need to actually see an angel or talk to one, they're not going to lie to you because they're servants of God. Why would a servant of God lie to you? They're going to tell you the truth. So if you say to an angel, well, are you my dearly departed grandma? No, they're going to say, no, I'm an angel of the Lord, and I'm here to help you. So that's what I'm gathering here. I don't know if you believe what I'm telling you, or if you don't, please, in the comments section, please let me know what you think about that. Do you agree with it? Do you not agree with it? Give me your ideas. I want to hear it. But like I said, like the video so that more people can see it and I can get more comments about this. I want to get the discussion moving here. I think it's an important topic in today's world. Things are getting out of control in this world, and I think it's because we have enemies in high places, spiritually speaking. We have just like I said, well, let me go back to this. I'll read it again. Ephesians 6:12. Again, think about this. Ephesians 6 and then 12 is 6 plus 6. That's 666. Does it have significance? I don't know, but it sounds scary to me. Okay. For we wrestle not against flesh and blood, but against principalities, against powers, against the rulers of darkness of this world, against spiritual wickedness in high places. Now, wickedness is especially bad. It's not just a little bad or little people are a little mischievous once in a while, or, sometimes you do things wrong. And no, wickedness is bad. It's the baddest of the bad. Well, that's what we're fighting every day. That's why this is important. We got to talk about this topic. It's a very critical topic. We can't fool around with this. This is very important. Okay, so guys, what I want you to do is go ahead and like the video. And if you haven't done this already, please subscribe and hit that notification bell so you can get more stuff like this from me. I like to discuss these things because I think a lot of people don't dig deep enough. We see these videos on spirituality, on paranormal experiences, but you don't really get answers. All you do is you see a bunch of videos of this mists in the air or these weird things that happen. You're like, oh man, that's scary. I wonder what that was. What was that? This is not good enough. We have to study. We have to understand these things. And I'm sorry to say, I'm not really sorry, but I think for some people they're sorry about it. The Bible is probably the best explanation of what we are seeing, because it kind of brings everything together. It talks about all of it. And if you don't believe me, let's go ahead and read. I mean, right here, this is a topic of ghosts. You can go down the list. There's several scriptures on it. I get it from this, from a website called openbible.info/topics/ghosts. And it has a bunch of scriptures that talk about all the essential stories of ghosts in the Bible. So it's important that we go through these things, and I don't want you to think that, I don't want you to be in the dark about this stuff at all. I don't think it's right for you to be in the dark about it. I think you need to be enlightened, and we need to keep discussing it. So please, I want to hear your comments. I want to know what you have to say about it. I can tell you I've experienced a lot of things. I'm going to continue this discussion. There's going to be more topics on the paranormal, on ghosts, on spirits, whatever it may be, because we gotta start being serious about this. And by the way, guys, a little word of warning before I go. If you're going to be dealing with demonic forces, like these people who go into these places, these ghost hunters, you know what I'm talking about? They go in there and they use their equipment and they talk to people and they think that it's departed spirits or all this stuff. I'm going to tell you that they're playing with fire, and I think it's dangerous. I don't think you go in there with that intent. You shouldn't be going to talk to your dearly departed loved ones. Look, someday you're going to see them soon enough. You should just be praying to God, and if you have to if there's some kind of a demon that's afflicting someone you love and someone you know, or someone calls upon you to help, first of all, you better be prepared to do that. Only a very small percentage of people can deal with that. If you are one of those people that was called by God to do that, then you know what? You better be prayed up and you better be ready to deal with it. Then you go in with the intent to, first of all, identify who you're dealing with and then get them out. But be prepared. And if you're interested in doing those things, then you probably want to talk to experts in the field, ministers and people who are close to God, who have dealt with it. They can teach you. First of all, they're going to ask you, are you sure this is the calling that God has given you? And they're going to vet you. They're going to find out if you're truly prepared to do this and if it's your calling in life. You shouldn't just run out crazily ready, just hastily to say, well, I'm going to do this thing. No, very serious. So I will leave you with that. And guys, I want to thank you so much for joining me tonight. And before I go, I will come right back after these messages.
Hey guys, if you want more great content from me, don't forget to subscribe and hit that notification bell. Come on, what are you waiting for?
Okay, I'm back. Just in time to say thank you so much, and I do want you to go check out my website. If you get a chance to check out Michaelantonio.biz, that's Michaelantonio.biz, and there I have several links to all my social media. Please follow me on Twitter, join me on Facebook, my Facebook page, facebook.com/Michaelantonio.music, and I really encourage you to join me there. Also, again, subscribe and hit the notification bell here on YouTube if you're seeing me on YouTube. If not, get the heck to YouTube and join me, for the love of God, right? Okay, guys, I want to thank you once again for watching, and I will see you later. Ciao, everybody. Hey guys, are you still shopping at those same big online stores? Well, I say no more. It's time for you to go over to the Michaelantonio shop and pick up some great gear at incredible prices. And remember something, I really care. Do you think Jeff Bezos would take the time to talk to you? I say no way. So don't forget, Michaelantonio.biz/shop. You will not regret it. Ciao.
You find something new. There's no other way to let you know it's time for you to go.